honestly, seeing one of these in person is insane. And literally a turbine engine. This car blew my mind. ITB's just coming straight up. The exhaust comes like this close to the dude's foot. And this car, man, I never liked these. And I know that's an out the gate thing to say. Hey guys, what is happening and welcome back. So if you don't know, a few months ago, I flew all the way from New Zealand over to Italy and went and checked out the amazing museum, Museo Nazionale di Automobili di Torino. I probably butchered that. National Automobile Museum of Italy. It's based in Turin and it was amazing. It has from the history of transportation to racing to basically the history of motor cars to concept cars, everything. Even as a car person, granted I did grow up in a small sheltered part of the world, cars that I didn't even know existed, and it was really cool. Unfortunately some of the footage I did there wasn't great, a lot of babbling, not great talking, but I still have the car footage. So today I thought we'd do is a one take live review of going back through that footage, me reacting to it again, telling you the little facts I know about it, and we can just enjoy going through it together, being that I haven't seen it for a while. Also guys, I don't know these cars perfectly. Like I say, I'm into cars. I come from New Zealand. I haven't seen everything I know in history, so it would be awesome if you guys could comment along anything you know about these models, anything you can add, anything you think's a cool fact about them, and we can just do a comments thread of sort of cool things about these cars and facts, and I'll try timestamp the video so that we can have the model names and that if people want to find out more. But anyway, let's get into it. I will hit play and let's see if we can do a bit of a reaction talking through as we go. This first blue bullet here, 1988 Jamis Contente electric, did over 100 kilometers an hour, just literally like an aerodynamic bubble that went through. Then straight into the first Mercedes, which was amazing, the Victoria. I think that's a 1980-93. This thing is like just amazing to look at, so cool. And I think this one is a little steam engined, what is it? It's a Pecori Steam from, I've got some notes here, sorry, 8091. Cool little steam car, absolutely love this thing. And then the next thing we just go into is honestly me just flipping out over radiators. Like, look how cool these are, like from the initial designs. While the concept's still kind of the same, it just changes so much. Like, it basically morphs into what we have today, I guess, as like production and things kept up. But anyway, I spent ages literally just staring at radiators, right to like something more traditional of today. Then this here is a 1907 Italia 3540 Pekin-Paris. I just thought it was really cool. Also the Pirelli tires on the back just cracked me up, seeing how far back those tire brands go. And then also there's some Michelins on this here, which was a, this is crazy. This is a 1909 STAE, fully electric, which is crazy. And then the Rolls, I mean, you honestly, seeing one of these in person is insane. The craftsmanship, everything just blew my mind. I must have spent 15 minutes straight just looking at this car. It is great. So it's a 1914 Rolls-Royce 4050. From what I can believe, but just the craftsmanship, I'll just shut up. It's insane. And then this here was also really cool in the similar style. So this is a 8A from 1929. Idotta Fraschini, I believe. But anyway, it was just really cool to look at this. Again, sort of that sort of Rolls-Royce type vibe, really nice classics. And then of course, the Mercedes 540K from 1936, which is absolutely stunner and so cool to see one of these in person. This car on camera is cool, but like the presence something like this design gives is just like mind-blowing to me. I always knew it'd be cool to see in person, but like I just stared at it. And then this is just like out the gate concept car. I don't know if they actually used it. It'd be great to hear more about this. 1950 Fiat Turbina, basically a turbine car, and literally a turbine engine. I thought it was just like a name, but a turbine engine. So that just blew my mind. This is just crazy stuff, that someone actually made this, went all out and built it, which is just so cool. Look at the fender flares like for the aero. This thing I just thought was really cool. I believe it is a 1984 Cristelia? 1948 Cristelia 202, which is cool. And this little thing was just tiny. I don't actually know what it was, but it was awesome. And then we jumped to some Ferraris, which honestly, I hated these cars until I saw them in person. Like, I really thought they were quite ugly, but in person they just hit so hard. So it's a 1982 Ferrari 208 GTB and a 1980 Ferrari 308 GTB. These cars, like, if you've seen them on photos and not quite got it, honestly, when you see them in person, so good. Like the styling, like I just went from hating it to being like the biggest fan of these cars. So highly recommend, if you can go and check one of these out in person, go and do it. They are phenomenal. And then the next Ferrari is here to remind you that, like, if you have a bad day, just remember Ferrari has bad days too. Maybe you like this next style coming up. I for one don't. It is hideous in my book. Like, I don't hate a lot of cars, but I truly dislike this. But yeah, I never knew Ferrari made this. The finish quality, everything on it is just like nuts. So this is a 1973 Ferrari 365 GT4 2+2, and then this guy's. This car blew my mind. I didn't know these existed. I didn't know ISO was a brand. This is a 1969 ISO Rivolta Grifo S. It is a Chevy 327 small block, I think, with Holly carbs and a Borg-Warner gearbox. And it was designed, I think, for like that luxury, like you could have a fast sort of sports car but not give up luxury was kind of the thing. This car is insane. Like, I wouldn't say the color is something I'd normally like, but I spent honestly probably 30 minutes walking around this car, as you'll see at the shots. This thing, the finish, the leather, the styling, like, yeah. I just love it so much. I hope you guys like it. It's a big feature here, but I just love this thing. From everything from like the wheels to the paint finish, the styling, the vents, the way the rear windshield is just so much glass. That car is just everything to me, which takes us to the engine room, which you might know a bit more about engines, you might know this a bit more about it. What I really liked in this room was just simply seeing like design changes from like valves being external to valves being inside the block, the different construction methods over time. It was really cool having the mirrors underneath, but you can see here like fully external valves and valve springs, which is cool. I've never really seen it. Back to your like very basic distributors with your wires coming up to your plugs, where you've literally just got the cable just screwed into the top of the plug. Stuff like this, like, just reminds you how simple I guess a car engine is. And then back here we've got them more actually inside the block but still in their own chamber, and then we've got them coming from the bottom, so valve springs below. I've never seen this before, maybe you have. So your cam shaft at the bottom, then your valve springs, then your valves all coming up, which is crazy. This was just a suspension design I thought was cool. This engine, I can't remember what it is, but man, the build quality and finish is just, like, look at those bolts and the spacing and the spark plugs. This to me is just like, I could watch it for days. And that clutch is just like actually really small for the amount of power it's putting out. And I believe this was a race engine, I don't think F1, but just the difference in race engine, like the size, everything shrinks. And this, have you ever seen one of these? They've existed since like the start of time, the tireless tire and race car. So this one, I believe, let's see if I can find it. I think this is a 1922 OM 469 Sport. The cool thing with these race cars is just seeing like the wear from where the guys were shifting, the wear on the wheels, like actual signs that it was raced, like the carbon buildup from the exhaust where the heat's like warped some of the steel. Like that was just, the car still feels like alive. And like the gauge is so simple and out there. If you could see in there, the exhaust comes like this close to the dude's foot. It's like, that's fast, you just do it and you race. So like, this is like the essence of racing. And this thing too, I don't know if it shows it on camera, but this thing to me just blew me away. It's just, this is a game, like, you can just get a feeling of what it would be like to sit in one of these and just like ham it. And the shifters, exhaust, just so simple, so raw. The fact that the brakes are actually inside the casing for like aerodynamics, insane. Like, and literally just your speedo is the only gauge you need, and this gated shifter just like, God, is insane. So that's this one was a 1932 Monaco Nardi Chichibio, I think, I could be wrong. Which takes us to like the so this is a Formula 3 1970 Formula 3 car, the first one. Then we get on to like just the race cars, and they didn't have signs for all these, so I don't know it. So if you guys could comment, please do. I'd love to know some more about what these cars are, what they have to search back through. I love the exhaust design on this. I don't know what it is, just the straight headers to the pipe coming right next to where you sit. Just loved it on that. That was insane. This thing's just like a tank, but also fast. And then of course this one is, I forget the name, but this is the very, where's it gone? I can't believe I'm losing it. The 1954 Mercedes Benz W196R. This car I stared at for ages. I don't know how much camera does it justice, but nothing's symmetrical. Everything's different. It's so beat up and used and raced. It's just really nice to look at, and also I presume phenomenally fun to race. But yeah, this was just like a very, very nice car despite being so rough and raced. And this is again back to the racing wall where there was just Ferraris after Ferraris that are just awesome. Like the aero on that thing between the tires, just bonkers, but cool to see like the stuff they were trying out. This here is insane. So I don't know if you can see, there's that front capsule there. You can see it with the ITBs just coming straight up to the air scoop and the cover so you can see it. That car to me is just like, I love it. That's like the peak of F1, of like Ferrari race cars to me. That is just, I can stare at those intakes all day long. Maybe just racing and just seeing that scoop with your intakes. And then this here, like right by your ears, just a mesh cover over straight to ITVs. And this thing is low, like this thing barely comes up to like your knee height. You were just like ass on the grass racing in this thing. It would feel so quick. and the wheel is like there's barely enough clearance for like your knuckles either side. Like the guys that drove these things must have just, it would have been like as terrifying as it was thrilling and fun. Like these things are awesome, and just to see ones that were actually raced and that, like, yeah, maybe you grew up around this, you get to see it, but coming from New Zealand, never seen these types of things, this stuff just blew my mind. And then you jump up to the newer cars, and the tires are chunky, like big chunky tires. The aero is insane. The size of them, like they're long cars, like light, but they are long and really wide cars. And this is just me freaking out by the amount of carbon fiber just everywhere. And the carbon aero is just so cool. And this is like the side shell off one. The engineering and like clearances that go into these, are how squished and mangled they are under those like nice pretty covers. Is just cool to see, like wires hunting under coolers, and yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, love to see it. And this here, was it a what is this? I don't know these very well. I wrote down 1996 Alfa Romeo 115 V6 Ti. Has the springs that our coupe has. I'm not going to say it because I butchered it. And this car, man, I never liked these, and I know that's an out the gate thing to say. I never liked them, and I never liked this color, but damn, I love this car. This car in person, just like, if you see it in the video going, nah, not me, trust me, if you see one of these in person, and you can, they are just amazing, like absolutely amazing. So 1994, I believe, Lamborghini Diablo SE 30, and like, again, color, note for me, look, note for me. In person, yes, please just give it to me, like I drive it every single day. And then Terrosa, I believe. And then this here was cool. So it's actually seized by the finance police in a raid. Apparently there's a big raid in Italy, but this thing's obviously very nice. 2009 Lamborghini Murcielago LP 670-4 SV. And this thing, for a modern car compared to the rest of this, was, yeah, really hit. And of course, we can't have a video without BMW, because, you know, BMW. But Iseta, only things I had in here from Beamer were Isetas, but Isetas rock. They go 85Ks, I didn't know that. And then back when Mitzi had some money, they had that. And then this was just me jumping on the GT sim they have there. But yeah, I'll watch you through, you can have watch through this. Basically, I couldn't get a handle of the sim at the start and then at the end. I'll leave a little chop of this at the end of the clip. But just to finish up, guys, on like, sorry, let me just pause that. Just to finish up on the museum as a whole, it is insane. It is by far, I would say, my favorite museum that I saw in Italy, coming from, I guess, outside and not having been able to see history museums in that detail of cars before. I did also see Ferrari and Lamborghini, and I know that's quite a big claim to say this is better, but truly, if you are heading to Italy, I cannot recommend anything more than go to this. Again, if you guys are like buffs and know more about these cars and had more exposure to them than me, please, please, please comment. I'm not just saying that. I'd love to, I'll try to do some time sections for each car, even if I don't know the name, and if you could drop some comments or some history or some facts about them, that would be great. I didn't have an audio guide or anything at the museum, so it'd be awesome to, I don't know, make this a bit of a chat about some of the cool history. But I hope you guys watched it. I hope you guys liked this review type style video. I just want to do a quick one take, mash it up, and get it out to you guys, because it's been sitting there for months. The old footage wasn't great, but hope you liked it. If you're new to the channel, please consider liking and subscribing, and we will see you soon, hopefully with some couple more footage, these style videos of Italy. And now I'm back up in Kerry, so we got some more car stuff coming. But we'll see you soon. Cheers.